Welcome. You're listening to The Radke Show with David and Melissa Radke. Oh, my word.
You're so ridiculous.
Have we started? I don't even know.
Hey, how are you doing?
That's how I feel about this podcast, this marriage. Is it on? Is this thing on? Testing 1, 2, 3. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Radke Show. David and I this is a little bit of a different one today. And it's really had our brain going because as you are listening to this podcast, we are celebrating 31 years of marriage. I got to tell you, the other night I was at your mom's house and I go, can you believe that our 31-year anniversary is coming up? And she's like, I can't believe it. And I like, it was one of those out of body experiences where like you in the movies where they imagine that they're doing something, but they're not actually doing it. It was me getting up in her face and going like this. Can you believe it? You never thought it would happen. Knowing full well that his mother adores me and I adore her. But I feel like when we first got married, your mother was like, I don't know.
The only reason why I don't believe that is because I know how highly she thinks of me. And so
goodness knows she trusts you implicitly. That's actually not even a lie. Anyway, today is a little bit differently because it's a little bit different rather because we're going through and we're talking about some marriage things. And y'all, 31 years is a long time. I used to feel like at year 11 or even year 14, we could talk about stuff and it almost still felt somewhat current. 31 years, this marriage ain't even current anymore. It's not even,
it's very current.
It's not current, David.
Some of the old stories aren't current, but I just had kind of a creepy thought.
Then by all means, do share with the public at large.
When people are listening to this, depending on when they listen to it,
we might be doing it.
We might be celebrating that's actually what I was thinking. We might be celebrating our anniversary. And there's numerous ways, not just in the intimacy department. But
he says we're still current by using the phrase the intimacy department.
I'm trying to be sophisticated and instead of saying, we're going to be in the woodshed.
Yeah, we're going to be taking it to the woodshed. Okay.
Or it might be a very nice thought for them because we might be celebrating because our primary event that we're going to be doing is going to Baskin Robbins and trying all 31 flavors.
Okay, first of all, that's so dumb. Second of all, that sounds awesome. That sounds amazeballs. We should totally do that. That would be fun. That'd be a great video.
We need to go in and say, it's our anniversary. We would like you to let us taste all 31 flavors.
All 31 flavors. And we'll be like, strawberry, this is year 1. And then by the end, we're like, Rocky Road.
And then if we go in and they go, we're sorry, we only have 29. Like, this is what's wrong with America.
God, honestly, if they were going to say it at any Baskin Robbins, it would be the one in Lufkin. You walk into the Baskin Robbins, which shares a home with Dunkin' Donuts. You walk into the Baskin Robbins and they have like 6 flavors out. I didn't even think that was allowed. We will drive through and say, do you have gold medal ribbon? Which David can tell you is my what?
All-time favorite.
All-time favorite. All-time favorite flavor of ice cream ever is Baskin Robbins gold medal ribbon. And David has to say to them, do y'all have gold medal ribbon today? And they always go like this. Hold on 1 second, sir. Let me ask. No, sir, we don't today. Would you care for anything else? Why don't you? It is a standard. Anyway, don't get me going.
There's no replacement for it either. Now, sometimes at Baskin Robbins and other places, they have a good pralines and cream.
What are we doing?
But that doesn't have the chocolate ribbon in it.
That's right.
Or maybe that's a caramel ribbon in it.
What are you doing, baby?
But there's no place else you can get gold medal ribbon. It was like a nice, like a handcraft ice cream place.
Like a marble slab.
Like a marble slab or something like that. I had them create. I found out what was in gold medal ribbon. I told them exactly what to create it. And then they made it into a $675 cake.
They did. But it was divine.
And the reason is, at the time, there was not a Baskin Robbins here. The one even in Nacogdoches was closed or being remodeled or something. So I had no option to get that cake, the ice cream cake, which I'd got for several years for her birthday. So I had them make it. And she took one bite and told me to my face she didn't care for it.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I didn't say it was delicious. I didn't say that I didn't care for the taste of the cake. The cake tasted wonderful. What I did, that's our dog Shep playing with his toys. What I did was look up. This was probably David, be honest. This was probably the 13th year of our marriage. And you had gotten me an ice cream cake for the first 13 years consecutively. And it was on year 13 that I took one bite of the cake. I looked up and I said, I told you one time that I loved ice cream cakes, but I did not intend to have to eat one every year for 13 years. You got to quit buying me ice cream cakes. Like, I can't do it anymore. I mean, an ice cream cake is good once every 3 years, but every single year, like, I know it's coming.
And I feel like, I don't know, I can't remember. I feel like what was in my head, if it came out of my mouth or not, it's like, well, if you'd stop polishing them off, I would get the hint and I wouldn't get you one next year.
Okay. You've gone too far. That is too far. Perhaps I was polishing them off in an effort not to hurt your feelings. Or goodness knows, waste your money, because whenever we throw something out in this house, it comes with a number. Well, there's $14 I'll never get back. Look at that. Y'all are literally throwing out $3 of meatloaf. Well, David, it's been in the fridge for about 6 weeks. You didn't eat it either. All right, guys, one of the first things we're going to do today is we're going to do a little highlight reel for you. These are 3 stories that are a little bit, if you could just imagine a aerial view of our marriage. What are in 31 years, we've accumulated a lot of stories, as you can imagine.
While they're listening to this, I might have an aerial view.
What does that mean? Your mother listens to this podcast. Why don't you say into the mic what it was you were doing?
Like aerial view.
Well, like if she,
like we might be up, like, on top of a building.
No, you pointed to what would be on the human body, the areola, nerd, not the area. And I have told you that a million times. Over the years, he's wanted to use the phrase areola in such sentences as, let me see your, can I touch your, but he continues to call it area. You know how weird it is when you don't know if he's saying, can I see your areola, or, hey, show me your area.
That way, whatever mood you're in, I give you the option to pick what area.
Imagine that's an aerial view of our 31 years of marriage. Here are 3 stories that are highlight reels in our mind for us. I told David he only had to come up with 1, and I would come up with 2. I'm regretting that decision now. But I'm going to go first. These do not have to be in any order whatsoever. The first one I'm going to go with, this story feels so us. This feels so David and Melissa. We were very newly married. We lived in a little apartment in Dallas, Texas, and David waited tables at night late, and he would often not get home until like 12 or 1 o'clock. And on this particular night, I wanted him to know how much he had been missed. So when he came in the front door of our little tiny apartment, there was a little 3x5 index card. It was taped on the outside of the door, and it was the beginning of what would be a little scavenger hunt through our apartment, which, if you knew it was a 1-bedroom apartment, it wasn't going to take long. Okay. But it like led him from the front door into the fridge, where if you open up the fridge, there was 2 chilled glasses of iced tea. And then it would lead him into the bathroom where there was, spritz this cologne on or whatever. And then it would lead him to the closet. It would be like, take off your work clothes. And it was a little scavenger hunt like that. And then what he would find if he followed the scavenger hunt was that I had taken the mattress off of our little bed, our little full-size bed, pulled it onto the patio. We lived on the first floor, okay? Pulled it onto the patio, which was covered with big shrubs. And out on the patio was our mattress and rose petals. And I was wearing my what do you call it? Oh gosh, this is so out of style right now, but it's what girls wear on the first night of their wedding night, whatever, beautiful nightgown. And I was out there posed like this, just waiting for him to do the scavenger hunt. Here's what happened. First of all, being on the first floor of the apartment, I could see when his car pulled up. It was blinding lights right in my eye. I heard him screech to a halt, open his door and slam it, walk to the front door, peel that off and go, what in the world is she doing? He walked inside. He shut the door. He didn't open the fridge. He didn't spritz on any cologne. He did not even take his clothes off. He came right to the patio door, opened it up where I was seductively waiting and said, and I quote, "What are you doing out here? A raccoon just had babies out here the other day." That's an aerial view of how our love began. What are you doing out here? A raccoon just had babies out here.
Well,
and he's the romantic one. So what does that tell you? We're screwed.
I thought it was better to discuss it at that point than a little further into the evening.
When we were driving to the ER to get a tetanus shot.
That's kind of different. You're biting a little too hard. What are you talking about?
That's not me. That's not me. So anyway, that is an aerial view. That is a highlight reel for me. That stands out of my mind. I've never forgotten it. I never will forget it. As mad as it made me that night. And here's what's so funny about marriage. As mad as it made me that night, it's one of my favorite stories now. And isn't that marriage in a nutshell?
I think when I think of a story that feels very us, of course, so much of us is laughing and having a good time and, funny stories. But when we went through 12 years of infertility, and then we had a son named Elisha that we lost on a Christmas morning, that still feels very us.
Yeah.
Part of that, by what I mean, is number one, if you haven't heard us talk about that a lot, it's, we handled it good in some of those years and not so good in other years. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we came together to hurt and heal. Other times we went to our own corners. So it's a long process in all that, but you can't go through something like that over and over and over again with miscarriages or not getting pregnant. And then obviously losing a child.
12 years of infertility, the loss of a son, and mixed in with that was 5 miscarriages.
Something happens in.
It must be what it's like to work with granite and you're molding something. You're chipping away. What's coming. There's going to be beauty there eventually, but you have to chip. You have to, sand. You have to dust. You have to start over a million times. And you're so right. I mean, would we even be sitting here? Would we be us, the us that we are, without that defining, I can't even say story, that defining season of our life?
Yeah. And maybe a lot of people that watch us or watch your videos and listen to the podcast, watch the podcast, maybe they don't know that, because some people can sometimes look, because we're laughing and having a good time and we enjoy each other and we enjoy our kids and we enjoy our family. It's easy for people to look at a snapshot and go, Well, sure, they're laughing because they have no idea, but nobody knows what we've been through
But us. That's
us.
right, babe.
And not only in that aspect of our marriage with the loss, but even in our marriage vows and even in health scares and financial scares and everything. Nobody understands it like we do.
That's a good one.
That is us.
I am really torn on which one to share. There's two that I want to share so desperately bad, but I'm going to share this one because I think it kind of coattails yours really sweetly. When Remy came into our life, she came into our life very suddenly. We found out that a young girl was pregnant and was looking for a family to adopt the child 6 weeks before Remy was born. And so we had 6 weeks to get our affairs in order, 6 weeks to get our house ready, 6 weeks to let social workers come in and tour the house and make sure that we were fit, to adopt. 6 years to get a lot of different paperwork and attorneys hired because we lived in Tennessee, but the child was going to be born in Texas. 6 weeks is not very long to upend your life. That's why when God makes you, has you be pregnant, he allows 9 months for you to get ready. We had 6 weeks. When Remy was born in the state of Texas says that the birth parent cannot, even if they want to, they cannot sign their rights away for 48 hours from the moment that child is born. So what happens is the adoptive parents get to hold and see and love that baby, but know that they still have a full 48 hours before the paperwork is signed and that child becomes theirs. And that is a harrowing 48 hours because you are every minute falling in love with that child even more, knowing full well that that birth parent might be as well. I can't imagine it in some states. Ohio, I think I heard once, it's like 10 days. I mean, I can't imagine stuff like that. But anyway.
I forget we had friends, our friends Matt and Heather, they adopted in Alabama.
Was it Alabama?
And it might have been 8 weeks. It was something
I
couldn't even imagine because 48 hours was hard.
48 hours was.
Couldn't even imagine that.
Very hard. In fact, the night that she was born, we held her, but then visiting, and we fed her and all the things, but the visiting hours were over and we had to leave. Birth mom could hold her at any point, all night long, but we couldn't. We had to leave. And one of the things that we did not have yet was a car seat. It had all happened so fast and we did not have a car seat. So we had to we had to leave the hospital, go in, find a car seat. We wanted the exact right car seat. We finally found it. We get back to the hospital and we know that the next morning it will be 48 hours. And so we wake up the next morning. We are a bundle of nerves. We get to the hospital. Birth mom has already signed the paperwork with a person present and in the company of an attorney. It's already done. We look at each other. We're absolutely elated. I mean, it's like a weight has lifted off of our shoulders. But what I remember is them handing us this baby, us taking this baby out to the car. This baby was this big. Us putting those little seatbelt around her little arms, and she was, buckled her in. We got in the front seat and we were at the drop off at the hospital where you can pull up and just drop off. That's where we were. And so we were in the turnaround of the hospital right in front, and we got in and we shut the door and I went just like this. David, drive fast. And he's like, I can't get out of here fast enough. Melissa, I don't even know where the brake and the gas are. I don't. When we were like, drive, we felt like we had just robbed a bank and that the law they were coming after us. We wanted to vacate the premises so fast because we could not believe the gift that they had given us. And we were afraid they would realize it was a mistake and that we were never supposed to have that baby. And we needed that baby so bad. And the three of us tore out of that hospital, her just a snoozing so fast. And it really wasn't much different at all with Rocco, except that we were just a little more chill. We had a little more chill to us, but it was still that, do they know what they have given us?
Yeah. You would think, and I'm sure I've actually heard some people have that kind of similar thing of like, they know we're idiots, right? Why are they why are they letting us leave with this life in our hands? But I think the other thing, you would think after 12 years of infertility, so we're older than maybe a lot of people when they have kids, that at that point, well, we just know a lot.
Oh,
we've read a lot of books and we are going to knock this out of the park. And it couldn't be further from the truth. So, yeah, maybe that was God for protecting the first, because I felt at that time we didn't know what we were doing. There's no telling what we didn't know back then.
Yeah. Those are just, after 31 years of marriage, as you can imagine, there's so many aerial portraits of David and I and who we have become. But then you add on to that all the stories that come with these children and all they've done in our life and who they are and how they've made us and created us and recreated us to be. I mean, it's just crazy. 3 doesn't even begin to narrow it down, but I hope you enjoyed those. We'll be right back after this with a lot more.
The Radke Show is being brought to you today by Melissa's new book, Chicken Fried Women: Friendship, Kinship, and the Women Who Made Us This Way. This book is a love letter to the Southern women who raised Melissa, scolded Melissa, and taught her how to make gossip sound like a prayer request. It's her most hilarious book yet, and it's available right now wherever books are sold. All right, back to the show. All right, we are going a little different direction now. So we, maybe had some warm fuzzies. Now we're going to share 3 arguments that never die.
3 arguments that never die.
So I will start. And
by the way, are these going to be legit argument? Like David's come up with 2, I've come up with 1, but I'm going to be sad if I share mine because it's a legit thing. If you've just shared 2 puff pieces. I wish you wouldn't use so much vanilla scented perfume, Melissa.
I don't think they're puff pieces.
Okay.
But I do think after 31 years, I think both of us have learned to pick our battles. So, I don't know if there's any therapy that we're going to get out of this, if that's what you're saying.
Okay.
Maybe you will. Maybe you're like, yes, I get this off my chest. I would say my first one, and I'll kind of blend 2. The temperature and the fans plural in our room. I never grew up sleeping with a fan on me. When I was in college and when I lived in an apartment with my buddy, never had fans. I liked it sort of cool, but not cold. And then we got married and Melissa wanted it cold. Melissa wanted a ceiling fan above and sideways. And for the first, at least probably the first 6 to 9 months, every day I woke up with a runny nose and a sore throat.
He really did. And I think that was full of malarkey.
So
my throat's really hurting. I was like, you're going to need to get over that.
So that started on
suck a lozenge.
That started early, very early on. I have actually kind of got used to the temperature. I'm still not a big fan of the fan on me. I like the sound of the fan. I just don't want to feel it on me. So that's always kind of there. But then this ties to what is a constant argument of every single night she steals the covers. And then she wants to argue that I'm stealing the covers. Well, I only stole the covers because she took the covers from me to begin with.
David, you're lying right now. You're just wanting something to talk about, apparently, because that is not true. I have taken pictures with my phone of what the covers look like when I wake up in the mornings and shown it to you.
Well, okay, I will start waking up and taking pictures of you in the middle of the night.
Okay, perv. I didn't say I take pictures of you in the middle of the night. I said I take them of the covers in the morning. David, you have a habit of holding on to the covers when you turn. You don't mean to do it, but it's going to lead to us using a new type of sleeping called Norwegian sleeping. Have y'all heard of it?
Oh, Norwegian.
Norwegian sleeping. It's where you are on the same mattress. Everything's the same. You have the same fitted sheet, but you don't have flat sheets on top of you. You have separate comforters, and they match. Like, you just kind of make them look nice in the mornings when you make the bed, but you have separate comforters, no flat sheet, because the flat sheet just goes back and forth, back and forth. And I want to start sleeping like that. I mean, I'm literally have gone to Norway to see what their method of sleeping is. And you still want to blame this on me? It is not me, babe.
Well, you could bump up the thermostat, or you could get the fan off me. And then maybe even in my sleep state, when I'm deep in REM,
REM sleep.
when I'm deep in REM sleep, I wouldn't be trying to, it's like a mechanism that my ancestors gave me to protect me.
Self-preservation, y'all, from his sore throat and runny nose. Let's love on him a little bit.
So that is, and occasionally it can get a little more heated, no pun intended, but we have always argued about that.
We're going to go to the Norwegian way of sleeping. We will keep y'all informed as to how that goes. I already know what I want to wrap up with at night. I just got to buy it, and I own it. I have it, and I just got to buy another one for David, and that's what our bed will look like. All right. It has always bothered me, and it still bothers me, and it doesn't bother me any less today, that you do not care what the outside of our house looks like. You do not care. If there are weeds in a flower bed, they are invisible to him. If our roses need to be deadheaded, you know what those are? When the rose has died and wilted and it's brown and gray and yucky, and you cut it off so a new one can grow. It does not matter to him. He does not see them. We have a bush right now that is so tall, it is almost reaching the roof of our house. Yeah.
Oh, a rose.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to him. He does not care. And I don't understand why. Because he knows how much it matters to me. It just does. My parents care greatly what the outside of their house looks like, and I grew up hearing that. My mother used to say, we would pass by a house. You know what I'm going to say. We would pass by a house, and if the outside of the house was trashy and filthy and they just let weeds grow up in their flower bed and they never mowed their yard, my dad would say, would you look at how they're taking care of that house? Why would somebody treat their house like that? They should take better care of their lawn. And my mother would say, Jean, they just don't have a happy marriage. I'm going to tell you, you can tell a lot about what goes on inside a house by the way the outside looks. She has said that my whole life. It is a huge deal to me. It just does not matter to him. And I don't know why. And the hardest I had probably ever cried, not true, but was one day when I decided I was going to go outside and I was going to do it all. I was going to go to Lowe's and I was going to carry big bags of mulch and put them in my car and bring them and lay them out and weed the flower beds. But I'm not strong enough, y'all. And I gave in and I just cried and cried. But he just doesn't care. Why?
Okay. You said it one time in there, which is the key to this that you don't understand. You said, I don't care. It's not that I don't care. You said the phrase one time, and I think this is like a subconscious thing. You said, I don't see it. And that is absolutely true.
Is that true?
It's absolutely true. It is not something that just grabs my attention that whatever, the bush is a little bit tall or whatever. It's got pretty roses coming off of it. I don't see those. I don't see those things. Care about it. How many times have we had people come out and landscape? How many times, like last year, did we completely rebuild the backyard? I do care about it more for you. I mean, I like to pull up to a nice house, and please don't get us wrong. Our house is nice. I mean, I guess there's levels to what you're saying.
But David, I have facial hair. Okay, I have some hairs on my chin.
Now, see, I see those and I care about those.
Yeah, exactly. I keep that looking nice. When some days I'm just like, screw it. Let's just let this, then during menopause, let's just let it grow. But I know that would embarrass you. Also, I would want to dig a hole and put myself in it, but that's not the point. David, sometimes I do things because I love you. Like I want to trim my chin hairs because I dare not embarrass you or mortify you. Why don't you just say that matters to Melissa?
I have said that. And that's why we spent so much money last year redoing the backyard, where you felt really proud of it and you loved it and you've spent so much time in there. So it is something that I do. The consistency might not be there, again, because I don't see it. It's not something that jumps out to me.
I believe that.
Now, and I think we're coming from two different places too, because yes, I don't know, probably the average person probably sees it more than I do. Okay, I get that. But you do, and I love my father-in-law, but he is OCD. I don't know if it's been diagnosed or not, but everybody knows.
He's not wrong. David's not wrong.
And it's something that he has got a little touch of an issue with.
Mm-hmm.
And so you come from that. And I mean, we always had a nice enough yard. It wasn't, landscaped and levels and this, that, and the other. But so I don't see it. Number one, to me, the inside is more important. That's where we live. That's where we spend our time. And, if it's, having a nice piece of furniture, or if it's just picking stuff up so it's not as messy, those are more important to me because that's where we live, But, I mean, I think you're right. It does say a lot about a marriage. The Menendezes had a beautiful outside.
Way to bring out the dark era.
Jeffrey Epstein had an incredible house
David.
outside. So,
all right. Okay.
You want to go with that one again?
Okay. What's the third one? Here we go.
The third one is going to be hard because one doesn't just like come to mind. I've been thinking about this for a while. There is the constant argument of where are we going to eat?
Oh, I'm going to give you one right now.
But that's just kind of there. We'll get. So if you have another one on the.
To me, this is a constant argument from you to me. So I'm giving you one. Okay. Melissa, did you throw that blank away?
Oh, yeah. That is actually a very good. That is a very
way
good
to help you out there.
Yeah.
And by the way, he's often correct.
That has been from day one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, from things of like, I don't know, $100 check, which at the time felt like $100,000, to
voter registration cards, social security cards.
But there was one check. I can't remember. It might've been $5,000. Like it was some contract work I was doing and they had mailed a check and I just had like it sitting on the counter and I was going to deposit the next day. And when I came in, it was gone. And I looked through the trash, but the trash was gone. And I had to call them and get them to replace the check.
Which isn't even a big deal. I don't know why he thinks that's a big deal. They all had wives. That probably happened to them too. I'm like,
I did
you
not
can just call.
I didn't call and tell them and go, my wife, I wouldn't do that. So I don't even remember
oh Lord, I'd throw you under a bus so fast.
But there's all kind of things. I mean, there's just, if Melissa saw, here
we go, America.
If Melissa saw this lid and it wasn't on this, there's about a 90% chance she's going to throw it away. I didn't see no cup with it.
I just assumed it was a random one. We didn't need it anymore. He is right.
Yeah.
I am not a hoarder. I will throw anything away. You bet you got about 3 to 4 days to find a home for it or it's gone. Okay. All right, you guys, we are going to come back right after this and we're going to attempt to give you 31 truths in 10 minutes. I don't know if it's possible, but hang on. We'll be right back.
The Radke Show is being brought to you today by Melissa's new book, Chicken Fried Women: Friendship, Kinship, and the Women Who Made Us This Way. This book is a love letter to the Southern women who raised Melissa, scolded Melissa, and taught her how to make gossip sound like a prayer request. It's her most hilarious book yet, and it's available right now wherever books are sold. All right, back to the show. All right, we are back now. We are going to share with you 31, I hate to call them truths because they're going to be short.
Things that we've learned.
Many. We'll say many truths.
Right, true.
That we've learned in 31 years. So
all with a countdown timer of 10 minutes. We're going to kind of ping pong this back and forth. There is a very good chance I will stumble and not have anything. And then he'll scream at me, hurry, 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 and vice versa. We are, this is going to be hard. I have absolutely nothing planned. And Ding Dong over here has written out like 2 things. He's got to have his notes in front of him, but he's also aren't you going to mark?
Yeah, I'll do.
Like every time we give one. Okay.
But we do have about 18, 19 seconds for each one. So
we do?
We're moving
along. How did you do that math in your head?
We're moving along, but it's not like an auctioneer. So
on your mark, get set, go. Sex really matters to men.
Okay. Number 2.
Don't number them every time. We don't have.
Sex really matters to men.
David, you're wasting time.
Sorry. You can be right or you can choose to be married, but there are times that you're going to have to pick one or the other.
On that note, you can be right, but even if you're right, if you're rude, you're wrong.
That's good. That deserves
That'll preach.
That deserves more than 18 seconds. Another truth we just talked about, the thermostat is not neutral ground.
If you have one animal already, what's a couple more?
Well, I got to keep marking so I remember. If you can survive painting your house together, you can survive anything.
Oh, good one, David. Move out during a remodel.
Ooh, that is very true. A happy marriage is about 90% inside jokes.
Children make marriage harder, but sometimes harder is better.
Say I love you a dozen times a day. Maybe the mini truth would be say I love you twice a day. But if you really want to shoot for it, say I love you 12 times a day.
Everybody in our family says I love you when they hang up the phone, when we say goodbye to each other. What matters to me is when David says, I choose you.
Pillow talk after 30 years is primarily about mortgages and taxes.
No one can understand what you're saying when you already have on your CPAP.
But since you've switched to the nose pillows, I think marriage is really just 2 people arguing over what's for dinner for the rest of their life. You've probably heard her say that recently.
That is the truth. Bringing up each other's families during arguments is hitting below the belt.
Except if you're being highly inappropriate / hilarious about the other person's family, then it helps break up the fight. And I can guarantee you've never heard that from anyone before.
And that was an inside joke. But
I did kind of explain.
Although okay.
Yeah.
Although, okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna expound on that.
Is it mine or yours? I'm sorry.
It's mine.
No.
I read this somewhere and it's true. Men carry around their pride in fragile ceramic pots. And I've thought that was beautifully written because they can break so easily. They must be handled with care. And I'm not talking about the arrogance. I'm talking about their pride.
In every situation, you can choose to either be a pillow or a bush with thorns for your significant other.
It's a room full of pillows. I mean, it is. That's what our marriage counselor taught us. It's not a pillow. Just anybody it can be a pillow. A room full. I'm just telling you, if you want to say it correctly, it's a room full of pillows. I got the hiccups.
Hey, it's you.
Please be honest. Just be honest. Even when it's hard.
Sometimes love looks like giving away your last bite.
When you wake somebody up with a drink, that's a really sweet way to start somebody's day.
Always stay flirty.
Make your spouse look like the cat's meow in front of your kids.
Marriage counseling is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength.
Oh, David, we're getting close. How many do we have?
20. I think that was 22.
Okay.
21, 22. I don't know.
It doesn't have to be long and drawn out, but any little prayer together, I believe, is 10 times more powerful.
This kind of ties to your honesty, but when you bring things out of the dark, they tend to lose their power.
Ooh, David, you are bringing it. If you're going to agree or disagree about anything, don't make it tithing. Just agree together to be obedient to God's word.
Small, consistent traditions are more important than big vacations. She doesn't agree with that.
We're going to talk about that one after.
So you're saying all the times, and this isn't just us and the thing that popped in my head, all the times we took your big iPad to Ray's and the four of us piled in the car
At the drive-in?
At the drive-in to eat Ray's in the car and watch
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Whatever. You're telling me all of those
are precious,
are
but I would rather go to Paris. If you love him, really love him, then his mother did something right. So she's clearly not terrible. I can't stand when I hear girls talk about how terrible the mother is. She literally raised this man you love. She did something right.
The way you forgive or the way you ask for forgiveness will teach your kids more about love.
Okay. 40 seconds, David.
Okay.
Forgive. Forgetting will come later.
Don't stop saying thank you for even the little things.
Telling me still looks sexy after all these years.
The most important, always try to outserve the significant other.
We didn't do it.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
We did exactly 31.
Yeah, I hope, I believe. I think we can throw one more if it's just, I may have lost one of them when I was talking or something, but I'm 99% sure that was 30.
Look, show him. Holy mackerel, we did 31. That is unreal.
Yeah, I'm glad I wrote a couple of notes because that'd be hard to just think like that.
I got to tell you, David, we've learned a lot in 31 years. I mean, I didn't say anything I didn't mean. Did you?
Evidently, the little traditions over.
The little traditions are wonderful. I wouldn't say they're better than a European vacation, David. And you're lying to yourself if you think so. I absolutely love that. And I'm glad that you guys watched this with us today and were part of our anniversary.
I hope you guys enjoyed today. It was a little bit different. We'll get back to our normal,
regularly scheduled programming.
Silliness on our next episode, but we sure do appreciate you watching. Hey, wherever you're watching or listening, have you subscribed? So every time we have a new episode, you'll be sure to be notified. So wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever you watch your podcast, be sure to subscribe. And if you always watch, then check out listening. Or if you always listen, check out watching. Do us a favor and give us a 5-star review. That will help a lot of other people find us. And today, if you've got the opportunity, either leave a comment or even send us an email at melissa@melissaradke.com and let us know which one of the 31 mini truths stuck out to you, or maybe which truth you would add to that list as well.
Thank y'all for being here. Now, if you'll let us go, I'm going to go show David the difference between an area and an areola. Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Radke Show. We're going to end now so that you can go and love on your people. Till next time.